Hi there, welcome to polyestHer Designs. Can you believe it's already October? Where in the world has time gone? I swear, living through this whole COVID thing and being quarantined and staying home all the time, you just lose track of what day it is, let alone what month it is. But I'm here to tell you we're in October. So given that we're in October, let's go ahead and create cards from the inside out. Don't overthink it, and let's do this. So here's the cards that we're going to make today. First one is, it's a happy Halloween card. Well, they're both Halloween cards actually. So the first one is this. We have a witch that I cut out on my Silhouette Cameo 4. And a little sign that I created here that says Happy Halloween with a couple of bats flying around. And we'll also create this card here. It's pretty simple. Just a couple of eyes looking at you through the dark, and Happy Halloween. So before we get started, let me tell you what we're going to use. We're going to use black cardstock, orange cardstock, yellow cardstock, and the cutouts that I've made. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, I don't have these cutouts. I don't have any of this stuff. What am I supposed to do, or how am I supposed to make it? Well, what I can do is, if you email me at Esther, E-S-T-H-E-R, at polyestHerDesigns, that's polyesther.com. And of course, at the end of the video, I will flash my email address for you so you can have that on hand. I'd be more than happy to email you these files so you can actually cut them at home. You don't need a Silhouette machine. You can actually use scissors and just cut them out. Again, remember, don't overthink it. Just take what you have and run with it. That's what I'm going to try to do. So let's get started on the first one. So I mentioned we needed all those pieces of cardstock. And then I am using this Tombow mono permanent adhesive. You can use any adhesive. You can use a glue stick, you can use Elmer's glue, you could use whatever you'd like to use. And I'm also using a stamp pad, a black stamp pad, and a sponge, simple sponge. If you don't have a sponge, you can use a cotton ball, you can use a crumpled up piece of paper, that'll work just fine. And you'll see what we'll be using that for. So let's get started on the first card. So the first card, as I mentioned, this is just a regular piece of cardstock that I cut in half and then folded it. So now it's ready to be decorated. The next piece I have is this orange cardstock that will just stick right onto the face of the card like this. And then after we do that, we'll layer on the bright yellow moon and the witch and the Happy Halloween sign. That'll go right on top. So the first thing I'll do is take my orange piece of cardstock, put some adhesive on it. Don't need too much, just a couple of dabs here and there will do the trick. And then let's go ahead and, let's see, can you see it there? Yeah. So I'll go ahead and I will put it right on the cardstock, just like that. Okay. So we have our first piece on the cardstock, and it's stuck on there now. And then next, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the stamp pad that I mentioned and the sponge so we can make these like shadows, kind of that dark orange sky and kind of that distress look going on. Okay, so take your sponge, take your stamp pad, and again, it's just basically touching it very lightly, gently, and then going on to your cardstock and very gently, just kind of as if you're dusting it off. And you can make this however light or however dark you want. It's your card. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Okay, so this is what mine looks like now. And I'm going to take that bright yellow moon. I am actually just going to leave the moon this color and attach it to the card. And as you saw, I just took a little bit of the adhesive and I am going to stick this right there, just like that. So now we have the moon on the card, and we're going to take our witch. Here she is. Let me put some adhesive on her body there. And for this one, I'm just going to put some adhesive like right here on her body part, because what I want to do is I want to put her right onto the moon, flying as if she's flying through the moon. And if you'll notice on this card here that I already made, I kind of lifted the broomstick and her cape there, so it gives it a little bit of dimension. Okay, so that's why I didn't put adhesive all over it. So here she is, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently bend the broom so it looks like it's kind of flying out of the card a little bit. You see that? And you see how it gives it a shadow there? Kind of cool, huh? And then we'll do the same thing to her cape. All right, there we go. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to take these little cutouts that I made. It says, as you can see, it's going to focus on that, Happy Halloween. And I am going to cut around the box here. You see those lines there? I'm going to cut around that. So, oh, I forgot you need scissors too. So I'm going to cut around that, cut right on the line. And you can use a paper cutter if you have it on hand. Because these are smaller pieces, I'm not using a paper cutter, a paper trimmer. It's just easier to work with if I have it in my hand and cut it with a pair of scissors. Okay, so it's cut down to size. It's a little bit smaller. And I am going to just take a black pen, if you want to take a black pen of any kind, small marker or something. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in the bats here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of want to fill it in. And your bats, by the way, can be any color. You can color them orange, you can color them purple, you can color them whatever you want. Again, this is your card that you're creating, so you can do whatever you want to do. Okay? All right. So, as you can see, I just colored in the bats. And again, it's not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect here. It's just shading it in, giving it a little bit of extra color. And I'm gonna take an orange marker, and what I'd like to do is just kind of trace over the letters a little bit. So we'll add a little bit of color to this Happy Halloween. Get these scraps out of the way. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll just trace the letters just slightly. And again, don't have to be perfect on this. It's kind of cool if you just do a quick trace without even thinking. So, just finished tracing out the letters. And the last part for this card is I want to distress this white. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just kind of find it fun to take the sponge and dab it all over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So again, just dabbing it very gently on the stamp pad and barely touching it, just very gently. You see how that? And again, you don't have to distress it if you don't want to. I just thought it looked kind of cool doing that, so went for it. And then finally, I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back and add my little Happy Halloween here. Okay, so there's the first card. Oh, and what I want to do too is, of course, this is a polyester design, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on the back with my polyester design. It's going to be a little bit hard to see given I'm stamping black on black, but let's give it a try. Oh, looks good to me. There we go. You can barely see it, but that's okay. So that's our first card. Now the second card is really cute as well. And it's pretty simple. What I'm going to be using for this is white cardstock, black cardstock, and the little Happy Halloween sign, and these little rhinestone adhesive that I have left over from a project from who knows when. But I had a bunch of these sticky rhinestones, and they're actually from Recollections. And as you can see, I've got a whole bunch. So I thought, hey, why not use these for eyeballs? Okay, so let's do this next card here. And I have all the pieces that I need. So white cardstock, the black cardstock cutout. Again, if you email me, I can send this to you so you can have this as well. And then our little eyes. Okay, so like the first one, we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of adhesive onto what's going to be the back side of the card. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that on. Stick it right on there, just like that. All right, and then we're going to take these, and since we've got 3 pairs of eyes, we're going to need 6 eyeballs, right? So let's go ahead and take some of these out, and I'm just using the scissors here so I can get all the eyes that I need. I might actually need more, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to cut out a couple of eyes. So start with this one. And I'm just going to stick it right on. And again, you can put your eyes wherever you want. Doesn't matter. Wherever you put it is where it's supposed to be. Okay. And by the way, do you want to tell me where you're watching from? I'd love to know. I'm here in Austin, Texas, just outside of Austin, Texas. And even though it's October, it doesn't quite feel like it yet. It's been pretty hot. Just waiting for the fall weather to come, the real fall weather, not this 90-degree stuff. It's still a little too hot for me. And of course, you've got like the pumpkin spice, everything going on with everywhere, and that's always a tasty treat to have, right? Who doesn't love a little pumpkin spice? All right, I think we're getting towards the finish line here. You know, I think for the top one, I'm just going to give the top one 2 different sized eyes. Why not? Keep it interesting. And 2. Okay, so believe it or not, we're almost done with this card too. It's pretty fast, huh? All right. And then finally, we have the little, again, Happy Halloween greeting. Like the other card, I'm going to go ahead and color in the bats, and I'm just using a black marker here and just kind of roughly shading it in. Let's do that to the other one. And this one, unlike the first one, I'm not going to distress it or anything. I think I'm just going to leave it just white, all white. So we'll just have a black and white card. Clean and simple. So there we go. I just colored in those bats. Add some adhesive to the back. And I'm just gonna glue it right in that box that I pre-cut. And there we have it. So this, oops, we've got a little bit of the plastic on there. Okay, so this is the other card. It says Happy Halloween. You've got eyes looking back at you. Ooh. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and take my good old polyester design stamp and give it a nice little pat on that. And I am going to stamp the back. There we go. We just finished making 2 cards in 20 minutes. How fun is that? I hope you enjoyed watching this video today, and I actually have a couple more Halloween cards that are coming up that I will be posting soon. If you leave me your email address and just ask for these templates from this video, I will go ahead and send you a PDF file so you can have these templates to cut out. I hope that you'll join me for the next card making session. I look forward to making more creative things. And again, remember, create from the inside out and don't overthink it and just do it. Thank you again for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.